What's up everybody, Chef Glenn B and I'm back in the kitchen and today I'm making pastitsio. Pastitsio is a layered baked pasta dish that is Greece's answer to baked pasta comfort food. Sort of like a Mediterranean cousin to lasagna, but it's not like lasagna because it's got its own thing going on. Let's get right into it. Thank you all for taking the time to watch my video today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, and if you would, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. Let's make the meat sauce. I've got my saute pan. I'm gonna start with a little olive oil. Got some diced onions. I'm gonna saute these onions up until they're soft. That shouldn't take any more than about 5 or 6 minutes. My onions are nice and soft. I'm gonna add some chopped garlic. I'm gonna cook this up for about a minute or so, just a minute. All right, I'm ready to add my ground beef. I wanna get this beef browned. I'm gonna add some tomato paste to the pan. As you can see, my beef is browned and I've been breaking it up with my wooden spoon. Now I'm gonna combine this tomato paste and I'm gonna cook that up for about 2 minutes or so. Give the tomato paste an opportunity to get a little bit of caramelization. I've got some dry red wine I'm gonna add to my pan. I want to allow that wine to reduce by about half. To my meat sauce mixture, I'm going to go ahead and add some crushed tomatoes. I've got some cinnamon. Allspice, bay leaf, fresh cracked black pepper, and salt. I've got a pinch of sugar. I'm gonna move this to the stove. I'm gonna reduce the heat on it. I'm gonna simmer it uncovered for about 30 minutes. Next thing I need to do is make the béchamel. I'm gonna start with my butter. I'm gonna add my flour. I'm gonna whisk that together. I wanna allow this to cook for about 2 minutes. I don't wanna brown it, and I wanna make sure that it doesn't burn. All right, so I've got my roux going and I've got some warm milk that I'm gonna gradually add and whisk in. I'm gonna simmer my sauce until it's thick and creamy. Should take about anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. All right, the bechamel is nice and thick. I'm ready to go ahead and season it. Got some white pepper. Salt. And I've got some nutmeg. Got my microplane and I'm just gonna grate some nutmeg in there. I've got a couple of egg yolks that I wanna add to my bechamel, but what I need to do is I wanna temper them a little bit before I add them to the bechamel. So I'm gonna temper them by adding a little bit of the warm bechamel to the egg yolks. Blend that together. A little more. I don't want to just go straight into the bechamel with the egg yolks because I don't want them to separate and break up. That should do it. I'm gonna whisk the egg yolk into my bechamel. I'm gonna add some cheese to my bechamel, and what I have here is Kefalotori. This is a traditional Greek cheese that's used in this Pastitsio dish. Straight into my bechamel with the cheese. My bechamel is done. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm ready to cook my pasta. I've got this Greek #2 miso pasta. This is actually specially made for Pastitsio. This is almost like bucatini in the sense that it's long and tubular and it's got a little hole in the middle. As you can see, it's long and tubular and it's hollow all the way through. I've got a pot of water boiling back here and I want to get my pasta cooked until they're al dente. Anywhere from 9 to 11 minutes or so. I'm gonna start with 9 minutes and I'm gonna check them. I've got my pasta cooked and I've cooked it just shy of al dente. As you can see, it's gotten a lot fatter. I'm gonna get it dumped into this bowl. Now to my pasta, I'm gonna add my butter, my grated cheese. This is also the Kefalotori cheese that we talked about earlier, the Greek cheese. Toss that up. And I've got 2 eggs that have been beaten. I'm gonna add that to my pasta. Give it a good toss. I'm ready to get my Pastitsio assembled and put it in the oven. I've already taken the bay leaf out of this meat sauce that we made. I'm gonna lightly grease my baking dish with some olive oil. I'm gonna take half of my pasta and place it in the baking dish. And what we want to try to do is line this pasta up all the same direction. A little tedious, but definitely worth the effort. I got about half of my pasta in the baking dish, and as you can see, for the most part, they're all lined up in the same direction. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's pretty close. I think that looks good. So on top of this, I'm gonna place my meat sauce. Spread that evenly. On top of the meat, I'm going to place the rest of my pasta. Got my second layer of pasta. Now I'm gonna top all of that with the béchamel. Just gonna smooth this béchamel out with my spatula. Give it a couple of taps to settle it. I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. The Pastitsio goes in for 45 minutes uncovered. The wine that I've chosen to pair with my Pastitsio is the 2015 Sextant Passage GSM. GSM stands for Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre. Let's get some of this in the glass. GSM is a classic blend found in southern France, especially in the Rhône Valley, but Paso Robles does it well, I'm telling you. So this has had an opportunity to rest. It's a 2015. 2015, in my opinion, was a very good year for wine. I remember having some good experiences with some 2015s over the years, so I'm expecting big things for this. Now remember, Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvèdre are in this, so each of them bring their own little element to the party. And I mean, on the nose, it's super expressive. I'm getting plum, cherry, plenty of dry herbs. And then what I think is the Mourvèdre part of it is really smooth and sort of leathery and just kind of mellows it out. All right, so much on the nose. Let me give it a taste. Wow. Wow. Allowing this to lay down and rest really benefited this wine. This is medium bodied, no alcohol burn. It's just immediately balanced and just really smooth, velvety. It's got a creamy sensation to it as well. Wow, super good. I remember wanting to open this bottle about 5 or 6 years ago and thinking to myself, man, you better let that rest a little bit. And I'm telling you. So on the palate, now again, we've got these 3 varietals. Nice little subtle punch of acidity. Not even a punch, just a little subtle acidity. And you got cherries and really ripe, mature fruit, grapes to be exact. I think that part of it is the Grenache, the cherry, the herbs. And then you get the Syrah that adds a little pepper bite, a little smokiness to it. So this is a really good glass of wine. It's complex, just like the dish. Remember, we got all of those spices and everything going on in the dish. I think we got a wine that might stand up to it. We'll see. All right, my Pastitsio is done. I'm ready to taste. Going right in. See those beautiful tubes in the pasta? They hold the sauce, make this so delicious. Wow. That bechamel is something else. So creamy, so delicious. And remember, this is loaded with spices. We got cinnamon, allspice. We got the zesty tomatoes. Got the nutmeg and the bechamel. We got all kinds of flavors going on. That's good. Get a little bit of my Greek salad. Making a mess here. Salad's delicious too. All right. Let's see if this pairs. Now, I may have thrown my taste buds off with that Greek salad. So, really got a challenge. Wow, that's good. But what I want to do, I want to isolate this. This may be doing something a little weird. Let's try just this. Wow, delicious. There we go. There we go. Wow. The cinnamon and the spices. I think the Grenache part of this is what's just sort of bringing that, waking it up. Wow, really make it, this is one of those dishes and glasses of wine that they're better together. They elevate each other. You get them and they taste so much better together. But I gotta double check. Let me go back in. Wow. That is a perfect pairing. I'm Chef Glenn Bean, as always, eat well.